It is both a joyous day and quite a sad one as well. As Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne said goodbye in Birmingham, England, for the very last time, you are watching Pedal TV.
Yo, what up, everybody? This is Mark from Suicide Silence.
This is Brian Fair from Shadows Fall.
This is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here.
Yo, this is Gary Hall from Exodus and recently retired from Slayer, and
Hello, this is Becky Boulder from Hamburg Grapple and Fury.
Hey, this is Charlie with Anthrax. I just want to give a shout out to Pedal to the Metal Radio, the podcast.
The podcast to get all your rock and metal news plus reviews.
Keep it metal. Pedal to the Metal Radio, motherfuckers!
What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here. As I said before, we are talking about the one and only show of shows that was on everybody's mind. That's right, the Back to the Beginning show, where we were saying goodbye to Ozzy and Black Sabbath. You know, such an event that brought so many emotions to the table, you know what I mean? Emotions of sadness, moments of nostalgia, you know, moments of pure happiness and bliss and escape, you know, as you escaped into all the songs that were played today. Quite a night. In fact, yours truly made the show. That's right. Let's check out the video right now.
Sabbath, thank you guys so much for giving us the most amazing genre in the world that I still promote to this day, heavy metal. Without you, I don't know where I would be. Love you guys.
All right, as you can see from there, made the show. So, why is this show special? It's so special to all of us for so many different reasons. And as you see in that video, Ozzy has been such a huge, huge part of my life from the very get-go. You know what I mean? What can I say? My very first concert was Ozfest 98. Okay? First time I ever saw Black Sabbath, Ozfest 99. You know what I mean? Such an integral part of my life. Whether I did the radio show at school or whatever, the music video show, I always did. Ozzy was always somehow involved in everything that I've done in my whole entire career. Whether it be alumni, you know, guys I played with Ozzy, or whatever the case may be. Always been such a huge part, and I appreciate that so much. So it was a huge day that featured bands like Mastodon, Rival Sons, which was, to me, was unexpected. I didn't know they were going to be there. We had Gojira, Pantera, Hailstorm, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains, which was a bummer in the beginning because while they were doing their cover of Fairies Wear Boots, the audio cut out and there was no audio. But then later on, before every set, there was always a break where they would show videos and things of that nature. Later on in the night, they actually showed the full performance with the audio, so that was a cool makeup right there for them. So, yeah, just a lot of artists and a lot of guests. David Draymond, Whitfield Crane, Lizzie Hale coming out and doing songs. Jakey Lee finally in the house. You know what I mean? Doing his thing during the jam session. Billy Corgan, KK Downing, Ronnie Wood. I mean, the list of guests was just absolutely insane. It was fun. Steven Tyler, dude. Let me ask you guys something. They had to cancel the Aerosmith tour for some reason, right? If memory serves me correct. Well, why the hell did they cancel it? Steven Tyler sounded freaking fantastic, especially not just with, you know, A Train Kept a Rollin' and Walk This Way, but even doing freaking Whole Lot of Love. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, whoa. Very, very, very cool. You know what I'm saying? Very cool. So there was a lot of great moments. I mean, Lizzie Hale and Hailstorm doing Perry Mason, which was cool because every band before that had been doing Sabbath songs, and she was the first one that came in with her band, and they did an Ozzy song. Very, very cool. Loved their rendition. And I loved her performance. Do not get me wrong, man. That girl brings the energy. And there was a shit ton of energy during that. One of the surprise performances for me. I didn't know what to expect. I'm not a huge Youngblood fan. I don't know much about Youngblood other than, I don't know, some clips I've seen online. You know what I mean? His performance of Changes is probably my performance of the night. If I'm going to be completely honest. If I was doing a top 5, that one would be my number 1 performance. He completely had the crowd in the palm of his hands out there at Aston Park in Birmingham, Birmingham, England, not Alabama. Excuse me. So, yeah. I mean, despite all the cool performances we saw, like Lizzie Hale coming back and doing The Ultimate Sin with Jakey Lee, who, by the way, I was excited to see Jakey Lee. I'm not going to, don't get me wrong. It was cool to see good old Jake back. He struggled a little bit, you could tell. But I'm wondering if that's because he's got some issues, maybe. I know he said there were certain songs he didn't want to play, I believe, because I don't think he thought he could do them anymore. I'm not sure. I don't know much about what was happening in the background. There was a moment, if you watch his performance, there's a moment during Shot in the Dark. It's right in the beginning. I think he struggles to play the song, and you could tell it's something with his hands, and you could tell, but he quickly gets right back into it. I mean, as soon as he realizes the frustration, he's back in, right? And he's good for the rest of the performance, which was cool. In reality, I had hoped that Jake was going to get on stage with Ozzy, but maybe that's asking a little too much. I don't know. But it was still cool to see him. And thank God for Nuno Betancourt, who stole the night, in my opinion, as far as guitar players. Dude was unbelievable, nailing the solos to Bark at the Moon, really helping Jake out, nailing the solos to, The Ultimate Sin and whatever. But, yeah, man, he was incredible. Seeing Ronnie Wood was fun. You know what I mean? Seeing a lot of those guys. KK Downing, dude. Holy shit. Adam Jones coming out with him. The only one performance that I was like was Billy Corgan. I don't know why. I love Billy Corgan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating. I'm not hating on Billy. Okay? But there was just a performance that I'm just like, he's not cut out to sing Rob Halford. I'm just going to say it. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Breaking the law, fine, but just not Billy Corgan. The other track he did, which was an Ozzy cover, which, fine. You know what I mean? Seeing Papa V was really cool. Him doing Bark at the Moon. Seeing Sleep Tokens 2 take over for drums for Mike Borden at one point was pretty cool. You know what I mean? That was cool. Yeah, I mean, overall, I was happy. And some of the things I liked was seeing some of the songs that were being chosen. There were some bands that were kind of going, in different directions. And a couple of those bands, Metallica, Johnny Blade. I didn't even know that was a Sabbath song. Because, I never listened to Never Say Never Again, whatever it is. But I was like, what is this song? And, like, Johnny Blade, I was like, holy shit, that's a different kind of cover. And that's what I enjoyed. And even Guns N' Roses stepped out of the box a little bit. They did Junior's Eyes, Never Say Die. Thought that was freaking cool. And there's a moment, and listen, I know I was looking at the chats, right? Because there's the chats, and there's the video, and people were shitting on Axl Rose pretty badly. You know what I mean? And I get it. But at least you can sort of understand what he's saying compared to Vince Neil. All I'm going to say. nonetheless, then it's back to the news at hand. Ozzy, right? This was almost a No More Tears lineup right here. You had Mike Inez, you had Ozzy, you had Zach, the only person missing, and we should give a shout out to those that are no longer with us, especially in the Ozzy camp, and that's Randy Castillo, right? I know we always mention Randy Rhodes, and rightfully so. Randy Rhodes was a huge part of Ozzy's resurrection from when he was dumped by Sabbath all the way to where he went. But we always forget Randy Castillo. And Randy was such an important part too. His drumming was absolutely amazing. Okay? And he happens to be a part of a lot of my favorite Ozzy releases. The Ultimate Sin, No Rest for the Wicked, No More Tears. You get it. So almost here, almost that, but then they had Tommy Clufetos. You may remember from Rob Zombie, many other bands. I interviewed him for the podcast. You should check it out. He was on drums. Awesome performance. They did their thing, and they played the hits for sure. And then, not to mention, so Black Sabbath, the end. Bill Ward. Finally getting to see Bill Ward come out with Sabbath. Awesome. He gets his flowers. You can tell, I think he's a little aggravated because I feel like he thinks, like, I could still do this. I could still go. Like, this sucks. But it is what it is. I mean, Ozzy's in a lot of pain. Ozzy just can't do it. I know Zach has been in the news mentioning that he hopes Ozzy will do a tour where he just sits in a throne the whole time. We've seen that before. We've seen it Guns N' Roses do it, and we've seen the Foo Fighters do it. So why not? But whatever. Awesome performance from the guys in Black Sabbath. What more can you ask for? One of the things I also noticed, I don't know if any of you guys did, there were a couple of bands, and one of them happened to be like, I just noticed it with Tool, right? And Metallica, to be honest. A lot of the bands played pretty unique sets, right? Tool did Enema, and then 46 and 2? 46 and 1, whatever it is. Whatever that song's called. And Metallica did nothing but, like, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, they did the first 3 albums. Let's just put it right there. And it's kind of funny because when did Metallica tour with Ozzy? 1986, Master of Puppets. When did Tool tour with Ozzy? Ozfest 98, Enema was out. Just kind of cool. A little bit of a, I don't know if that meant anything, just kind of throwing it out there. Again, there's a lot of great performances in this. Steven Tyler is, if I'm doing a top 5, which, you know what, I will do a top 5 video of the top 5 performances of the show. Steven Tyler's in there. Lizzie Hale's in there. Metallica's in there. You know what I mean? And you'll just have to wait to see who number 5 will be. But for right now, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. It will be replaying, I believe, for 2 weeks. So there's still time for you to catch it. So make sure you do. You don't want to miss it. It was such an amazing time. I laughed. I cried. I rocked out. We just had a good fucking time. So with that being said, Ozzy, thank you so much for everything that you've done for the whole metal community. We will see you guys soon. Stay metal.